Question 5 of the Heidelberg Catechism asks, can you keep all this perfectly? That is, being the law of God. And the answer is no, for I am prone by nature to hate God and my neighbor. This question, in connection with the preceding question, teaches us that our misery, which is known in two parts, can be known out of the law in two ways. First, by comparison ourselves with the law, and second, by an application of the curse of the law to ourselves. Comparing ourselves to the law, or comparing the law with ourselves, is a consideration of that purity which the law requires and whether it be in us. And this comparison clearly proves to us that we do not have what the law requires. For it demands perfect love to God, but there is nothing in us but aversion and hatred for him. And the law again demands perfect love towards our neighbor, but in us there is enmity towards our neighbor. So it is in this manner, therefore, that we attain a knowledge of the first part of our misery, which includes our depravity, and which in many places convicts us, such as Romans 8, chapter 8, verse 7, Ephesians chapter 2, verse 3, Titus chapter 3, verse 3. The second part, which is the application of the curse of the law to ourselves, is made by practical syllogism, or by way of inference from that. See, the statement in the law of God says that anybody that does not continue in all the things written in the law is cursed. So the first major proposition is that the law curses anybody who does not follow all that which the law requires. Then the minor proposition affirms in us that we are unable to follow all that which the law requires. And thus the conclusion follows from these two propositions, namely that we are eternally condemned under the law. So by this syllogism, that from the major proposition, which is all must follow the law of God, otherwise be cursed, then the minor proposition, which is that we clearly are unable to follow such law demands, and therefore the conclusion follow, which is that we will be condemned with harsh judgment and eternal damnation. From that conclusion comes despair and grief, unless the consolation of the gospel is brought into us, and we attain the remission of sins for the sake of the Son of God, our mediator. It is in this way that we attain a knowledge of our sinful state and exposure to eternal condemnation, which is the second part of our misery, as we established earlier in question 3. It is by this argument we are convinced of all of our sins. The law binds all men to obedience and purity and so forth. We fail to do so and become acknowledged of our sins, and thus we are all eternally judged and condemned for such wickedness.